Amazing 10-coin decision. Poor girl saves a millionaire's puppy, changes their lives forever. Emma trudged down the dirt road, her heart heavy with the daily grind of life on a modest farm in Iowa. The sun peeked over the horizon, casting a golden glow on the endless rows of corn. With her dad gone, every day felt like a race to keep up planting, harvesting, caring for the animals, and helping her single mother make ends meet. Yet, in the quiet moments, she held on to dreams that sparkled brighter than the sun above. She had saved a rare 10-coin, a symbol of hope for a brighter future. As she rounded a bend, a pitiful whimper caught her attention. There, nestled in a pile of dry leaves, was a puppy. Its big brown eyes were filled with fear and longing, a stark contrast to the wildflowers around it. Compassion swelled in Emma's chest. Her heart raced as she approached, kneeling beside the frightened creature. Although she had little to spare, this moment felt like fate. But once she took the pup into her arms, she saw how frail it was. The puppy trembled as it nuzzled against her, and Emma knew it needed help. The weight of her dreams felt insignificant against the raw need in this little creature. Was that coin worth more than saving a life? Without hesitating, she cradled it closer. Yes, it was time to use the coin. She rushed to the vet, her heart in her throat. The bill came close to her savings, but with the vet's assurance that the puppy would be okay, Emma sighed with relief. Just then, her phone buzzed. It was a text from her friend, urging her to come quickly. Emma hurried to school, her mind racing with worry about if she had done the right thing. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As the weeks passed, the puppy whom Emma lovingly named Lucky became a source of unexpected joy. Little did she know that Lucky was the missing pet of Mr. Thompson, the town's wealthiest businessman, known for his cutthroat ways. But life had a funny way of changing people. When Mr. Thompson learned of Emma's selfless act, he was unexpectedly touched. A bond began to form between Emma and Mr. Thompson, sparking curiosity among the townsfolk. His daughter, Lily, however, did not appreciate this new connection. She scoffed at Emma, calling her the help and warning her father against blurring class lines. Emma faced whispers and glances at school, struggling to navigate this world of wealth that felt foreign and cold. Just when Mr. Thompson seemed to glimpse a different world, scandal hit, endangering his reputation. Emma, with her unwavering belief in community, rallied her friends. They gathered resources to help. In this moment of unity, walls began to crumble. But the bond was fragile. Tensions mounted. Misunderstandings between families emerged, leaving Emma broken-hearted and caught amidst the clash of worlds. In the silence of her farm, she realized that the task of dismantling societal barriers was more daunting than she anticipated. With her heart aching, Emma stood by the cornfields, wondering if her bravery would ever be enough. Will she be able to mend the torn connections and rise above the barriers they've built? The weight of the world felt heavy on her shoulders, and the air buzzed with questions about what could truly change. Emma sat on the rickety porch of her farmhouse, watching Lucky chase after a butterfly flitting through the tall grass. The puppy's joyful barks pierced the quiet afternoon, reminding her of moments that felt more hopeful and light. But as she glanced up at the sky, dark clouds rolled in, casting shadows over her spirit. She carried the burden of expectations and the weight of unspoken words, not just for herself, but for those around her. The school buzzed with the latest gossip. Lily's eyes seemed to follow Emma everywhere, filled with disdain and entitlement. It was as if she wore her wealth like armor, thick and impenetrable. Emma wanted to prove them wrong, to show her worth without a grand title, but how could she without the right words to say? The bond with Mr. Thompson felt like a fragile bridge straddling two opposing worlds, and she feared it would collapse under the pressure. The next day, as she moved through the halls, she spotted a sign taped to the bulletin board. A charity event was planned to support families affected by the recent economic downturn. An idea sparked in her mind. Perhaps this was the chance to bring people together, to bridge the gap between their two worlds. Emma felt a thrill of courage, maybe just a glimmer of hope for something more. With enough determination to fuel a small army, she gathered her friends after school. They brainstormed ideas, their laughter filling the room as they envisioned a lively fair. Games, food, and even a bake sale, anything they could do to attract people from both sides of the town. Lucky wagged his tail, adding to the excitement with his innocent charm. As days passed, they worked tirelessly. Emma painted signs, organized volunteer schedules, and the community began to buzz with anticipation. But not everyone was thrilled. In hushed conversations, she overheard parents express their doubts about mixing with the Thompsons, fearing the wealthy wouldn't relate to their struggles. Emma's heart sank. Would they let fear take away a chance for change? On the day of the fair, anxiety clawed at her stomach. Colorful banners fluttered in the breeze as laughter rang out. But the smiles melted away when Mr. Thompson's family arrived, forcing a silence to envelop the crowd. She could see Lily's face twisted in disdain, arms crossed tightly over her chest, as if to shield her from the threat of connection. Heeding her instincts, Emma approached Mr. Thompson, hoping he could inspire the people around him just as he had inspired her. When he stepped up to the makeshift stage, she held her breath. "This fair isn't just for anyone," he started, his voice steady but fervent. "It's for all of us." An unexpected cheer erupted from the crowd. Emma's heart raced. She could feel the power of unity in the air, a tiny crack forming in the wall that separated them. But just as hope began to take root, Lily stepped forward, her voice sharp and questioning. "You think this is going to change everything? You think our families can just become friends?" Emma felt the air thicken with tension. She wanted to counter Lily's bitterness, to remind everyone of the goodwill that brought them here. But doubt crept in. Would anyone actually listen? As that pivotal moment hung in the air, Emma took a breath, preparing to speak from her heart. The weight of the world pressed down on her shoulders, yet she knew it was now or never. Could her words mend not just the rift with Lily, but within the entire community? With Lucky by her side, Emma stepped to the mic, ready to fight for everything she believed in: friendship, hope, and the freedom to dream beyond barriers. What would come next was uncertain. Could she turn this moment into one of change? Emma's heart thudded in her chest as she stood at the microphone, her palms sweaty with anticipation. The crowd was a mix of curious faces and hostile glares, all eyes pinned on her. She glanced down at Lucky, who sat by her feet, full of excitement, oblivious to the tension. How could she channel that innocent joy into her words? Clearing her throat, Emma spoke. "I know some of you are unsure about today. I get it. But we're all in this together. This isn't just another event. It's a chance for us to understand each other. Each of us has struggles. Each of us has hopes." Her voice quivered but remained steady, carrying the weight of her sincerity. From the corner of her eye, she caught sight of Lily fidgeting, her expression wavering between skepticism and confused anger. "It's easy to make assumptions about people based on what they have or don't have," Emma continued, feeling the need to address Lily directly. "But sometimes, the most powerful connections come from those who seem the most different from us." A soft murmur spread through the crowd. Emma pressed on, the words spilling from her like raindrops in a storm. "Look at Lucky here. He doesn't care where he sleeps at night. He just cares that he's loved. Wouldn't it be great if we could all be a little more like him? To look past the labels and find the friendships that would otherwise remain hidden?" Emma glanced at Mr. Thompson, who was smiling, nodding in encouragement. But what she really wanted was to see a sign of acceptance from Lily. It was then that a flicker of uncertainty crossed Lily's face, just a fleeting second before she turned away, crossing her arms tighter. "That's the hope I have," Emma said, pushing past her fears. "We may have different lives, but we all face challenges and share dreams. I believe we can learn from each other. Who knows? You might find a friend you didn't know you needed." An uneasy silence followed. She could almost hear the gears turning in their minds, the push and pull of doubt and possibility warring within them. Then, just as doubt crept back in, someone in the back shouted, "Give it a shot." It was one of Emma's friends rallying the crowd. Slowly, other voices joined in, hesitant at first, then building momentum. As laughter erupted, Emma felt a surge of hope ignite the air around her, but it was Lily's scoff that cut through the moment, sharper than Emma expected. "You think one fair will erase everything? You have no idea what real struggle looks like." The crowd simmered, the air thick with tension again. Emma swallowed hard. Lily's words felt like ice, heavy and unyielding. Yet beneath that chill, Emma sensed that perhaps Lily's heart was also buried under layers of misconceptions and pain. "Maybe you're right," Emma responded softly, the resolve steadying in her posture. "Maybe it won't change everything. But what if it can be a starting point? What if today can help us take that first step?" Lily's eyes met hers, and for the first time, Emma didn't see pure disdain. She saw something deeper in uncertainty, a flicker of curiosity. "Change takes time. But we ought to try." Emma's voice rang clear. "Every big change starts with a small step, right?" The crowd began to stir. Whispers transformed into discussions. People shifted in their spots, and some even nodded in agreement. Emma's heart swelled. Had she done it? Had she turned the tide? With renewed energy, she pointed to the grounds filled with laughter and games. "Let us start by having fun and talking. Join in. You never know what connections might happen." That plea echoed through the audience, and before she knew it, they were moving parents dragging skeptical children, curious teens drifting towards tents. But as people converged, Emma caught Lily lingering on the outskirts, still frozen in hesitation. Emma felt a magnetic pull, the need to reach out, to bridge that last gap. As Emma stepped toward her, Lucky trotting along beside her, she felt the weight of the moment. Would Lily let her in? Emma took a breath, ready to confront her once and for all. But just as she was about to speak, an unforeseen shout rang out from another part of the fair. A shrill voice pierced through, sending a wave of shock across the gathering. "Help! Someone's in trouble." Heart racing again, Emma turned. No longer was this about her or Lily, it was about to become something much bigger. What had she stepped into now? Panic washed over the crowd as whispers turned to urgent chatter. Emma's instinct kicked in, her focus zeroing in on the source of the frantic call. Without thinking, she pushed through the throng of people, her heart pounding with adrenaline. Lucky trotted beside her, sensing her unease. "Where?" Emma called out, desperate to find the person in distress. The crowd parted slightly, revealing a cluster of kids gathered around a game booth. In the center of the commotion was a young boy, tears streaming down his cheeks as he pointed to the ground. "I dropped my puppy," he cried, his voice cracking. "I was trying to win him a prize, and now he's gone." Emma gasped, scanning the area. The small puppy was nowhere to be seen. "Lucky, stay close," she murmured, trying to get a grip on the panic swirling around her. Lucky wagged his tail, excited but worried as they both moved towards where the boy was looking. "Can you remember where you last saw him?" she asked gently, kneeling to meet the boy's tear-filled eyes. "Right over here." He extended a trembling finger to a dark corner behind the booth. "He ran off, I was so busy." As she stood, Emma locked eyes with Lily, who had remained near the edge of the crowd, her face a mixture of shock and concern. Emma could see the hesitation still in Lily's stance, but a determination flickered behind her gaze. "Are you going to help?" Lily called out, stepping forward with surprising urgency. "Of course I am," Emma replied, her voice steady. "But I could use some help too." Without hesitation, Lily rushed to help Emma, and the two worked together to push aside the discarded cans and forgotten toys littering the ground. "We'll find him," Lily said fiercely, glancing back at the boy who was watching with wide eyes. "Lucky, can you sniff him out?" Emma encouraged. Lucky jumped into action, nose to the ground, his tail wagging furiously. As they searched, the crowd began to shift, excitement bubbling amidst the worry. "Is that the puppy over there?" someone shouted from the sidelines, pointing toward the makeshift garden just a few feet away. Emma's heart soared. "This way," she called, leading the charge through the scattered people. The little boy followed, breathless with hope. When they reached the garden, there was the puppy sitting with his ears perked, looking almost proud as if he knew all the attention was for him. Emma knelt down, relief washing over her as she carefully lifted him into her arms. He wriggled, licking her cheek in pure puppy joy. "Is he okay?" the boy gasped, kneeling beside her. Emma smiled, the warmth spreading in her chest. "He's just fine." Lily laughed softly. "Looks like he got on an adventure of his own." Triumph spread through the group as cheers erupted. Emma turned, brightening at the sight of the boy beaming up at her, the weight of his earlier fear evaporating into joy. "Thank you," he exclaimed, hugging his puppy tightly. In that moment, Emma saw something more than just relief in Lily's demeanor. It was admiration and something akin to friendship. The wall between them was cracking, just as fragile as the boy's earlier panic. But there was more to unravel. The fair hadn't just been about games and laughter, it was surprising them with life. Emma could hardly think about what could happen next when a loud voice cut through the revelry once more. "Who saved that puppy? I need to talk to whoever it was." Emma's heart skipped a beat. She turned to see a well-dressed man pushing through the crowd, an air of urgency around him. Something inside her stirred not just for the boy, but for herself and possibly the life-changing moments waiting just ahead. What did he want, and how was it connected to this shimmering moment of joy? Emma steadied herself, glancing back at Lily and the crowd. Would this lead them deeper into a web of challenges and friendships? The crowd hushed as the man reached Emma and Lily, his sharp gaze locking onto them. He wasn't just any passerby. The polished shoes and tailored suit told her he was someone important. Emma's stomach twisted, the thrill of the puppy rescue giving way to a flicker of anxiety. "Excuse me, young lady," he said, his voice firm but not unkind. "I need to know exactly what happened. That puppy is my son S." A flash of concern flitted over Emma's face. "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know." She glanced at the boy, who stood frozen, unaware of the commotion he had sparked in his innocence. The man softened slightly as he knelt to the boy's level. "Did you lose him in the fair?" The boy nodded vigorously. "I was trying to win him a toy, but he ran off, then I couldn't find him." As the man's expression changed from one of concern to one of gratitude, Emma felt a rush of appreciation for the boy's bravery. It took a lot of guts to ask for help, and here they were, a family united through this shared moment. Emma shifted on her feet, trying to gauge the man's reaction. I just helped find him. It was lucky we all came together." The man nodded, and there was a hint of warmth in his demeanor. "Thank you truly. My name is Mr. Collins. I know this sounds unusual, but I don't usually get to enjoy moments like this with my son. Work keeps me busy." "Understandable," Lily interjected, her voice steady. "But it seems you could use more moments like this." Mr. Collins smiled, an unexpected glimmer in his eyes, reflecting a brief vulnerability. "You have no idea. Can I offer you a reward? A token of my appreciation, perhaps?" Emma's heart raced. "A reward?" She glanced at Lily, who appeared deep in thought. "Honestly, we didn't do it for anything but helping. Of course, but our lives are woven together in this instance. You saved a priceless part of our family. Think about it, please." He pulled out a gleaming $10 coin from his pocket, the kind that sparkled under the afternoon sun. "This is a start. It's not the money, it's what it represents connection." Emma looked at the coin, then at the boy, bouncing with his puppy in gleeful celebration. "This is beautiful," she said after a moment, "but I can't take it. Just seeing him happy is enough for me." The crowd began to buzz again, turning whispers into conversations about what had transpired. Lily, keeping her eyes on Emma, finally blurted, "Emma, wait. This could lead to something more, can't you see?" Before Emma could respond, Mr. Collins stepped closer. "What if I told you I could offer more than just a coin? How would you feel about a chance to spend the day with us? A way to keep the connection alive?" Emma's heart skipped again. Spending a day with a millionaire? The universe felt like it was holding its breath. But what if this was what she needed? A way to see beyond the fair, beyond her everyday life. Lily's expression seemed to mirror the same mix of excitement and caution. What would the day entail? Would it chase away their worries or draw them into something complicated? Can I think about it? Emma finally asked, her voice small but full of resolve. Absolutely, Mr. Collins replied warmly. Take your time. As the crowd dispersed, leaving behind echoes of excitement and laughter, Emma felt something shifting within her, the promise of new possibilities. What would she decide? And what would that mean for her and Lily, who was still standing by her side, her earlier hesitation beginning to evaporate in the face of adventure ahead? Emma stood there, the warmth of the afternoon sun warming her cheeks, while uncertainty danced in her chest. Lily's anticipation was palpable beside her, and the boy still beamed at his father, puppy tucked protectively under his small arm. The joy radiating from them only complicated Emma's feelings. What do you think, Emma? Lily's voice cut through the din of the fair, drawing her back to the moment. This could be a big deal. A chance to meet someone who lives a different life. It might change everything. Emma bit her lip, eyeing Mr. Collins as he watched the two girls with an earnest expression. Did she want that? An escape from the ordinary? She loved her home and her mom, but things had been tough lately. Still, the life of a millionaire seemed too foreign, too far from what she knew. I just don't want to make a mistake, Emma finally admitted, her voice wavering with a blend of excitement and fear. What if this is too much? Or what if they're not like us? Then we'll figure it out together, Lily reassured her, her grip tightening on Emma's arm. But what if Mr. Collins is right? What if this is about connection? We need that. You need that. Taking a deep breath, Emma broke away from the moment just long enough to steal another glance at the happy father and son. The puppy wagged its tail, and she couldn't help but smile at its playful antics. Okay, she said, a sense of determination washing over her. I'll do it. I'll spend the day with them. But on my terms. Mr. Collins watched as Emma steeled her resolve and felt a swell of pride for the girl who had given his son so much joy. That's wonderful, he said, the corners of his mouth lifting into a genuine smile. I promise, you'll enjoy every moment. What are we doing? Emma asked, curiosity lighting up her expression. How about a lunch by the lake? Mr. Collins suggested. Then we can explore the fair together. The idea seemed to enchant Lily, whose eyes grew wide with anticipation. I love those giant stuffed animals. They have the best games too. Sounds perfect, Emma agreed, her heart now racing with the thrill of what lay ahead. She felt like a dancer stepping onto the stage for the first time, excited yet nervous, the audience watching with eager eyes. As they walked towards the lake, chatter and laughter surrounded them, the spirit of the fair alive in the air. Mr. Collins gently nudged his son ahead of him, chatting about the puppy's favorite tricks, his tone filled with affection and pride. Emma caught glimpses of the boy's laughter, and it made her heart swell, yet, beneath the excitement, a shadow of doubt lingered in Emma's mind. What if she didn't fit into their world? What if the day brought more questions than it answered? A sense of anticipation mixed with anxiety churned in her stomach. The instant they reached the picturesque lake, Lily exclaimed, "Look at that view. I can't believe we're doing this." What about the food? The boy added, bouncing up and down. Let's take a moment, Mr. Collins suggested as they settled by a shaded bench. And then we can dig into this delightful picnic. At that moment, Emma felt a shift within her. Perhaps this decision was more than just a diversion from her normal life. It might be the key to unlocking something she'd only glimpsed before, an entirely new world filled with possibilities. Yet, just as she let herself dream of adventure, Mr. Collins said something that made her heart stop. You know, Emma, I believe every connection comes with a story. A lesson. What had she walked into? What journey was waiting to unfold before her? As they sat by the shimmering lake, laughter echoed in the air, but deep inside her, Emma felt the weight of an exciting question looming. What hidden truths might this day reveal? Emma's heart raced, a tumult of emotions swirling within her. She bit her lip, glancing from the sparkling lake to the delighted faces of Lily and the father-son duo. The moment felt surreal, like a postcard scene pulled straight from the pages of someone else's story. What story will I find today? She whispered softly to herself, feeling the cool breeze brush against her cheeks. It was a fleeting thought, quickly lost amid the laughter cascading around her. Lily, eyes sparkling, began unpacking the picnic basket, revealing a spread of sandwiches, fruit, and an assortment of colorful drinks. "This is going to be amazing!" she exclaimed, chattering excitedly. Mr. Collins spread out a vibrant blanket, the kind you might find at a summer festival. "Perfect spot, don't you think?" he said, glancing back at Emma, who forced a smile, still grappling with her swirling thoughts. "Definitely," she replied, trying to sound enthusiastic. As she settled down, the puppy, ever curious, began sniffing around, its tail wagging furiously. Emma watched as it bounded closer to her, and she instinctively reached out a hand. The warm, soft fur brushed against her fingers, and her heart swelled unexpectedly. "See? He loves you already." Mr. Collins chuckled, a hint of pride in his voice. The boy giggled, watching Emma interact with his puppy. For a brief moment, she felt a connection blossom, one that sparked a flicker of hope in her heart. The picnic commenced, and laughter flowed as sandwiches vanished and juice splashed. Emma began to relax, feeling the ease of the moment wrap around her like a warm blanket. They shared stories, their voices mingling with the gentle lapping of the water. "So, Emma, what do you dream about?" Mr. Collins asked, his voice suddenly serious. Caught off guard, Emma paused. She had never been asked that directly. She looked down at her sandwich, fingers tracing the crust. "I don't know. I guess I've always wanted to travel, try new things. But I worry." "What do you worry about?" He prodded gently. Emma toyed with her thoughts. "My mom and we have had some rough times. It's been hard. Sometimes, I just feel stuck, like there's a limit to what I can do." Lily's eyes softened as she leaned closer, grasping Emma's hand. "You're not stuck, Emma. You're brave. You're here, and that's something." Mr. Collins, watching the two girls, nodded thoughtfully. "You know, overcoming those limits starts with small steps." Each connection, each story, every experience. He paused, eyes brightening with an idea. "Could be a step towards something bigger than yourself." Suddenly, amid their laughter, the puppy began barking wildly, darting toward the edge of the blanket where a shiny object caught its attention. Emma turned, intrigued. "What is that?" As the puppy raced back, a glimmering coin danced in its mouth, light reflecting off the surface. Mr. Collins' eyes widened in recognition. "That looks like a rare $10 coin. I've been searching everywhere for it." Emma's curiosity piqued. "A coin? What's so special about it?" "It's not just any coin," he explained, kneeling to take it from the puppy. "It symbolizes decisions. Each one we make can change our lives. It's how I found my way back after losing everything." Her breath caught. What if this coin was a sign? A push toward something new that could lead her life in a different direction. Mr. Collins looked at her, realization dawning in his eyes. "Emma, would you like to try something new? Maybe we can work together on something big, and you can help me with the puppy too." Emma felt her heart race again, a flutter of excitement mingled with a dash of fear. "What do you mean?" His smile was broad and full of promise. "You'll see. It's time we explored the possibilities, the connections we can create together, and what it could mean for all of us." What would happen next? Emma's heart raced with the thrill of unknown possibilities. Would she take a leap of faith alongside them? Emma stared at the coin now cradled in Mr. Collins' hand, its surface glinting with a promise she couldn't quite grasp. The air around them seemed to thicken with anticipation, the laughter of the picnic fading into a soft background hum. "What do you have in mind?" she managed to ask, her heart thumping loud in her chest. Mr. Collins paused for a moment, studying her with a thoughtful look. "Every decision we make shapes our path. This coin, it's about stepping out and embracing those choices. For some reason, I feel it's meant for you." His words hung in the air like the sound of rustling leaves. Emma's mind raced with possibilities, weaving between excitement and apprehension. "But what can I really do? I mean, I'm just me." "No, Emma. You're more than that." He leaned closer, his voice steady but gentle. "You have so much potential, and I want to help you unlock it." With the puppy, there's a world waiting for us to discover. Lily's eyes lit up. We could train him. Make him the best dog ever. The girl's enthusiasm diffused some of Emma's doubts, but there was still a knot in her stomach. Was she really ready to dive into something new? Mr. Collins nodded. And it could be our first step, together. Who knows where this journey will take us? Just then, the puppy tumbled into Emma's lap, seeking attention. It licked her hand, sending a wave of warmth racing through her. She laughed, the tension easing as she stroked its soft fur. Maybe this was a starting point, an unexpected adventure. All right, let us train him, Emma said, surprising even herself with the resolve in her voice. Lily clapped her hands in delight as Mr. Collins grinned, his eyes sparkling with approval. The puppy wagged its tail, responding to the burgeoning energy. As the afternoon wore on, they began with simple tricks: sit, stay, and fetch. Each little success infused Emma with confidence. She laughed with Lily, their voices mingling with the puppy's playful barks, and for the first time in a long while, she felt lighter. After a while, Mr. Collins stood up, stretching his arms. All right, I think we've made some real progress. But I want to tell you both something important. He looked at them earnestly. This coin journey is not just about the puppy. It's about forming connections, chasing dreams, and helping each other grow. Are you both in? Emma glanced at Lily, who bounced on her toes, excitement radiating from her. Could they really do this together? This sense of unity fueled her decision. Yes, I'm in, she said, her heart soaring. Great, then let's set a time to meet and discuss everything. There's so much to explore, Mr. Collins replied, smiling brightly. The scene around them felt more vibrant now, like colors painting a canvas that had once been gray. As they packed up, Emma felt a pull in her chest. There was still uncertainty woven in her thoughts, but beneath it all simmered a current of hope. Later, as they walked back toward the car, Emma caught sight of the lake sparkling in the early evening sun. It really was a perfect day, she said softly. Every perfect day starts with a decision, Mr. Collins replied with a knowing smile. Just as they reached the car, Emma froze. Do you think, she began hesitantly, there's a chance that the coin could lead us to something even bigger? Like helping others? Mr. Collins' eyes lit up. Absolutely, Emma. It's all connected. Let's keep that thought close as we embark on this journey. But as they drove away, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that something deeper was waiting to unfold, something that could change everything. What awaited them at the crossroads ahead? What if the next decision they made could lead to not just a transformed life, but an entirely new adventure? The drive felt longer than usual, the sun sinking lower in the sky, painting everything a shade of gold and orange. Emma kept glancing over at Mr. Collins, hoping to catch a hint of what lay ahead. The coin lay on the dashboard, glinting in the fading sunlight, a constant reminder of the promise that held so much weight. What's next, Mr. Collins? Lily's voice broke through Emma's swirling thoughts. There was a bright energy bubbling in the little girl that was infectious, and Emma couldn't help but feel a spark of excitement herself. Mr. Collins smiled, glancing at the road ahead. First, we need to decide how to train our little friend. Once we get to know him better, we can move on to more complex tasks. But remember, it's important we build a bond with him first. They say dogs can sense our feelings, Emma piped up, her voice steadier now. Maybe if we show him love, he'll respond better? Exactly. Mr. Collins leaned back in his seat, clearly pleased. And that's what I want for all of us. To build a connection not just with the puppy, but with each other as well. As they turned onto the road leading back to town, Emma felt a swell of purpose. They weren't just training a puppy, they were creating a little family. When they finally pulled up to Mr. Collins' house, the grand structure loomed impressively. But all Emma could think about was the tiny creature wiggling in her arms. The puppy wanted to play, and her heart melted at the thought of what lay ahead. Let's set a schedule, Lily suggested, bouncing in her seat. We can take turns training him after school. And maybe we'll even get to take him to the park. I like that idea, Emma said, grinning at Lily's enthusiasm. We should name him too. Mr. Collins chuckled. You both get to decide. I'll be here to support you however you need. They hurried inside, each step echoing with optimism. As they gathered in the spacious living room, the puppy began to explore its new surroundings. Emma plopped down on the soft rug, feeling the warmth seep into her bones. Suddenly, all her old doubts came rushing back. "What if I mess this up?" she confessed, rubbing the puppy's back as it wriggled in delight. "What if I'm not cut out for this?" Mr. Collins knelt beside her. "Emma, remember it's okay to be scared. It means you care. And if you stumble, we'll be right here to pick you up. You won't be alone in this." She looked into his eyes, and for the first time that day, she felt a true sense of belonging. What if we make training a way to help others too?" "All great ideas start small," Mr. Collins replied. "Perhaps we can host a puppy training day and invite the neighborhood. It'll be a great way to share what we learn and make new friends." Emma's heart raced at the thought. The ripple of their shared effort could indeed touch others. It was bigger than just her and Lily. For the first time, she felt a purpose swell inside her. It was exhilarating. "Let us do it," Lily shouted, her hands clapping. The puppy barked as if in agreement. As the evening unfolded with laughter and puppy antics, Emma's confidence grew. She was part of something meaningful. But deep within her, she felt the stirring of larger questions. What if the connections formed through this newfound journey could lead to something beyond their wildest imagination? "Tomorrow, let us write down everything we want to achieve," she suggested, gazing at the puppy as it fell asleep in her lap. "What is the first thing on the list?" Mr. Collins asked, a glint in his eye. Emma took a deep breath, a smile dancing on her lips. "Opening our hearts to whoever needs help." In that moment, beneath the soft glow of the living room lights, she couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the brink of something monumental. What doors would this journey open for them? What would they discover about themselves along the way? Emma couldn't wait to find out. The sun peeked through the curtains, bathing the room in a warm, golden light. Emma stirred from her dreams, still feeling the pulsating excitement of the previous day. Today was the day they would take their first big step together. The possibilities felt endless, like ripples spreading across the water. As Emma got ready, she thought about how far she'd come. Just weeks ago, she was a girl burdened with worries. Now she was on the brink of something extraordinary. She dashed downstairs, her heart racing with anticipation. Lucky, the puppy, danced around her feet, sensing the energy in the air. "Ready for our big day?" She grinned, bending to ruffle his soft fur before heading out the door. Emma could feel the shift in her world, a blend of nerves and exhilaration churning in her stomach. When she arrived at Mr. Collins' house, Lily was already there, her face aglow with excitement. "I can't believe we're doing this," she squealed, bouncing on her toes. Emma could hardly contain her own joy as she rushed inside. "Today's our puppy training event," Mr. Collins announced, holding up a clipboard filled with their ideas for the day. "We're going to invite everyone in the neighborhood. It's our chance to bond with Lucky and show others how loving and fun this whole experience can be." As they put finishing touches on the plan, Emma felt a mix of laughter, teamwork, and hope. Each detail added another layer. Games, snacks, and training sessions danced in her mind, all flowing from the shared energy of newfound friendship. The fear she once clung to faded, replaced by determination. As the event began, families trickled in. Tentatively at first, but smiles soon illuminated their faces. Emma stood proudly beside Lucky, who barked playfully, drawing in more excited kids. The moment felt electric. The air was charged with the magic of connection. "Look, Lucky can fetch," Emma called, tossing a toy across the grassy expanse as the crowd cheered. With a leap, he dashed after it, returning with the toy proudly in his mouth. Joy erupted, laughter bubbling up as they reveled in the fun. Lily caught Emma's gaze, eyes sparkling. "See how far we've come, Emma? This wasn't just about training a puppy." The atmosphere was infectious. Adults chatted, sharing their stories, and eventually, even some who once hesitated began to join in on the fun. Midway through the event, an unexpected voice rang out. "This is incredible." It was Mr. Collins, beaming with pride as he looked around. He spoke up, addressing the gathering. This isn't just about today. It's about building relationships, opening our hearts to those who may feel left out. As applause filled the air, Emma's heart swelled. Could this truly be just the start? Then, as if to illustrate his point, a shy boy approached. "Can I try?" He looked uncertain, glancing at Lucky as if he were the key to his courage. Without hesitation, Emma knelt down. "Of course! Lucky loves making new friends." She gestured for him to join, and as the boy hesitantly stepped forward, a transformation unfolded. Laughter erupted around them, infectious and captivating. Every child joined in, encouraged to embrace something new, to shed old boundaries that once separated them. Each wagging tail, each triumphant bark, countered the walls of doubt. Connection blossomed like wildflowers stretching toward the sun, but it was Lily who pulled Emma aside eventually, eyes wide. "What do you think happened? This wasn't just a fair, it was our moment of change." "Yeah," Emma echoed back, processing the beautiful chaos around them. It felt raw alive. She slowly began to realize they had just planted a seed, one that could grow far beyond this day. As the sun dipped lower, painting the sky in warm hues of pink and orange, laughter and chatter faded into soft conversations. The fair had transformed the town, uniting them in a shared mission of kindness. "Thank you for believing in our idea," Mr. Collins said quietly beside Emma and Lily. "You two made this happen." Real change starts with the courage to connect. Emma felt as if something inside her was awakening, stirring a bright ember of hope. They had not only trained a puppy, but had started a movement toward something greater. "Let's keep it going," she said suddenly, her voice brimming with passion. "Maybe we can host monthly events and help other pets in need." Mr. Collins and Lily exchanged glances, a mutual understanding sparking. "Absolutely," Mr. Collins agreed with a grin. As the last of the sun disappeared on the horizon, Emma felt the weight lift from her heart, replaced with purpose and companionship. They were no longer just a simple girl, a wealthy businessman, and a torn community. They were something far more powerful, a family that could change the world, one act of kindness at a time. That night, Emma sat on her porch, Lucky curled up beside her. The stars twinkled above, each sparkling light a promise of new beginnings. With a heart full of hope, she whispered, "This is just the beginning." And with the night humming around her, the adventure ahead felt like a dream waiting to unfold. You need to subscribe now to never miss these incredible journeys. This is the moment to show your support. Hit that like button immediately to feed the algorithm. Comment below your feelings about Emma's transformation. Did it inspire you? And don't wait not even one more second, share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this heartwarming change. Let us keep this amazing community growing.